Okay. Hello again. I'm back. I apologize that I'm not sure how the video resolution and the audio is going to come out. I hope that it will be okay, but I'm new to this, so I apologize. This is a good experience. Whatever happens, this is a very good experience for me. So before I get back to talking about the issues I want to talk about, that I think about on a daily basis, which this video is about, and the one that I did before this, I've switched to a different, actually, like 40 yards away from where I was before, but I've turned the camera in a different direction. Waterbury, Connecticut was the brass capital of the world. Now, part of me is proud of that, very proud of that. My dad grew up in Waterbury. He's been deceased, he's passed on for a while now, but there's a lot of history here in Waterbury. There's also some things about Waterbury, and like all other towns that are involved with capitalism, that I'm not proud of what we've done to society, but I don't know. You can't change the past, so it is what it is. But we can work in the present to help change our future. So this building that you see behind me is part of it today is still a railroad station, Waterbury's railroad station. However, back in the day, we're talking late 1800s and early 1900s, when Waterbury was at its peak, the city is just like a lot of mill towns. It's full of factories. Being the brass capital of the world, all it did was churn out brass and all sorts of metals and different products. And you can, I can only imagine what this town was like during the Civil War and World War I and World War II. Again, not that I'm proud of that, but most people had jobs. People would come out of their houses in the south end of Waterbury, along the river, or the north end of Waterbury. They'd come out of their houses and walk down the street to their factory. Thousands of people every morning just walking to the jobs. I can only imagine what that was like. I would love to be in a movie where they actually filmed that and tried to recreate that. So the tower you see behind me, that's part of the original railroad station. Now there's a train that goes from Waterbury to Bridgeport, Connecticut, and then it hooks up with the New Haven line, which goes right into New York City, the Amtrak line. The Waterbury to Bridgeport is diesel. It's a diesel line. Although supposedly they're supposed to be upgrading it if money comes through. But there's only one track now. However, there are 7 tracks still laid down. They've all grown over, but they're still there. I can't even imagine what it was like back in the day. All those tracks are being used. Trains coming in and out, and bringing material in, bringing material out, and just incredibly productive and busy. Although that era is long gone. Just personally, I think it's a good thing. But so part of the train station is this tower that they built. Sorry, I can't tell you who the architect was. But the tower, I want to say it's about 300 feet. Maybe the number that comes to mind is 323 feet. I could be wrong about that. But anyway, it's about a football field long. And it's one of the hallmarks of Waterbury. because you can see it. I-84 and Route 8 go right through Waterbury. So when you're taking either of those routes, that's one of the buildings you see. The other thing you see is a large cross on, it's called Holy Land. And it's in the south end, and it was built by a guy. Actually, when I was young, our parents used to take us up there. The guy's name was John Greco, and he built a miniature version of Holy Land. So there's all these small, for lack of a better word, small houses and memorials, maybe, if that's the right word. And it's up on a hill. There was always a large cross up there, but then the present mayor, I don't know, I want to say about 7 to 10 years ago, with the help of somebody, a guy by the name of Fritz Blasius, who owns Blasius Chevrolet. I didn't know him well in high school, but we were in the same high school a couple of years apart. They put up a new cross, which is a little lighter, and it lights up. So that's one of the other things you can see when you're going through Waterbury. And I'm not a big organized religion person, but I like to learn about ancient traditions and how they affect today's society and what we can use to help us out. Things that the ancients knew that we have suppressed over the years, and now we're starting to realize again. Well, the cross, the plus sign, the cross, has a lot of positive energy behind it, a lot of positive significance going back thousands of years. I wish I could be more detailed, but myself, I don't know that much about it. So it's kind of nice to have that cross up on the hill. But whatever your beliefs, whatever you choose to believe, it's a very positive energy, and it, kind of watches over the city. So it's nice. It's nice. So anyway, those are that cross, and then the tower behind me are two of the things you see when you go to the city. So let me get on with what I wanted to talk about now. So the last thing I want to talk about, there's a couple things within this subject that I want to mention, is we're finally realizing on a conscious level, partially because science is proving it, but also just because we are intuitively starting to find out how powerful we are as individuals. But individuals that are connected to each other, that we have this innate healing ability that our parents didn't understand. They didn't know anything about it. So our teachers didn't know anything about it. So we weren't taught this stuff. Fortunately, because of my health challenges, because of my seizure disorder, because of my just intuitive interest in energy healing, that's one of my real interests. Alternative methods of healing, energy healing, how we can heal ourselves. I mean, there are so many sick people in the world today. We have to come up with new solutions to old problems. Otherwise, we will self-destruct. I mean, it may take a while, but we will self-destruct. There are ways to heal that we're just beginning to understand. Think of yourself living in a sci-fi movie where anything is possible. That's what I want you to think about. Because that possibility is a reality. Absolute reality. Anything is possible. You just have to believe it. And you have to start to tell yourself that this stuff can really happen. Otherwise, we wouldn't have energy healers today. People that practice Reiki or different kinds of energy modalities. Okay, I see my battery's getting low, so I better hurry up here. So, all the different kinds of energy healing, don't shun them off. Look at them. Put them in the back of your head. don't always listen to your doctors and the scientists. There are new ways to heal which can't be proven, but that's okay. It starts from your heart first and your belief that you have the power to redefine the reality and make the world a better place. And that sickness is a symptom. It's not a reality. It's not something that's permanent. You can heal yourself. And yes, we need support. I'm not trying to tell you to be your own person and just do everything by yourself. No, you need support. It's a combination of both. I think the COVID crisis has taught us that we're not alone. We need each other. So besides alternative healing, there's also the whole area of, which I've talked about a little bit, our evolving consciousness. That something is happening. That the energy of the planet is changing. We are changing as energy beings. We are spiritual beings living in a physical body. We can change our reality. And, some of it does sound fruitful. I can talk like that at times, but don't let that intimidate you. Think of it as, do you ever meet someone that makes you feel uncomfortable? And it's like, oh man, I don't want to be here. This person is really making me feel uncomfortable. Look at that as an opportunity to learn about yourself. Look at energy healing as an opportunity to learn about yourself. You'd be surprised what you learn. You have the ability to change when you need to change. You are so much more powerful than you think. Look at people like Deepak Chopra. He's been talking about this and writing about it in his books for years. Science, quantum physics has proven that we have the ability to change our reality. This is not just me talking off the top of my head. We have that capability. And also, lastly, just our spirituality in general. And that goes along with what I've been saying. The world is changing. The energy is changing. We're finding out so many things about our energy that we didn't know before. Because science, for lack of a better word, I'm not saying it was always intentional, although sometimes it is. Science suppressed a lot of things that we knew about energy healing, but because it couldn't be proven, they didn't want to talk about it at all. They didn't want to put it on the back burner and say, well, you know what, let's explore that. Let's look into that, because maybe that's a cheap, effective possibility. No, because it wasn't going to make them a lot of money. It wasn't going to make people a lot of money. I wish I had more time. Maybe I will talk about that very quickly. So the spirituality part is important. You don't have to participate in organized religion to be spiritual. Follow your heart. Do what God, for lack of a better word, the universe, your subconscious, your higher self. Do what those things are telling you to do. Follow your heart. And lastly, the banking system, the economic system. I'm not trying to sound unpatriotic, because I'm not. But we have to do something about our economic system. I don't care whether it's capitalism, socialism, communism, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of people, including myself, that do say, if a system doesn't work for one person, and I know, we can't help 100% of the population, but we can do a hell of a lot better than we're doing now. So I don't care what the economic system is. Personally, I don't think we should use money at all. I think whether it takes a day or 1,000 years, we're going to reach a point where we will evolve to a point where we won't need money. We'll be able to help ourselves using our heart and our positive thoughts. Now, we need to look into this. We need to explore this. There's a guy by the name of Michael Tellinger. That's where I first was exposed to this. Now, I don't believe everything he says, but I think he means well. He's not trying to be unpatriotic. He basically is saying we need to change our economic system, that we don't need money. that we can, that people produce things. Money doesn't produce things. Buildings are built. Products are manufactured. Food is cooked by people, not money. Money is a tool. So we need to look into that. And I definitely, and I would like young kids to have the courage to explore this and talk about it with your parents. You know, you don't have to get angry. Just talk about it with your parents and express your true feelings and whether or not you feel that maybe we do need another kind of economic system to do away with it altogether so that we can all live as a global community without war, without starvation, and that we need free energy. There's a couple of ideas I want to talk about, different ideas that I just want to mention that I find very interesting. Everything from aliens to sexuality and how that seems to be changing in our young kids. Our ability to heal ourselves, which I've also already talked about. And the world being a holographic universe. Think of yourself living in a sci-fi movie where your thoughts create every reality around you. It's possible. In time, it's possible. And who's to say that we don't live in a holographic universe? But we first need to say to ourselves, that's possible. Now, there are people out there that say that other advanced civilizations already live in it. They live it. That's the universe they live in. They come here from universes millions of years away, that they live in a holographic universe. And then they live in light bodies, but when they come here, they can change to a physical body to adapt to our environment. And that we will make extraterrestrial contact when we're ready. They're sort of like parents. Parents aren't going to force a child to do something until they're ready. Extraterrestrial civilizations aren't going to make contact with us until they think we are ready. And Dr. Stephen Greer, look his name up, Greer. He used to be an emergency room medical doctor, and then he got involved with the government and working on the whole UFO issue. And I think he's very level-headed. He brings some good ideas to the table. He knows what he's talking about when it comes to physics. And he has contacts in the government. So he seems to be credible. Greer, Dr. Stephen Greer. Look him up. He's a good source. And Michael Tellinger, Tellinger. Look up, the name of one of his books is called, oh boy, I can't remember. Look up Michael Tellinger, Michael, and put in something like banking system, and his name will come up. He's from South Africa. South Africa, yeah. All right, well, I'm going to end before my video runs out. Thank you very much. Regardless of whether the video gets accepted, I'm very grateful that I was able to do this. And thanks. Good luck to everybody out there. And I hope to see you sometime in the future. Take care.